Hi guys, so today I just wanted to make you a quick video about vegetarianism basically and how to go vegetarian and just stuff about it if you guys are looking to go vegetarian, because I know a lot of you guys message me a lot of the time asking me about it, so I thought I'd make a video so you can watch this rather than me just answering the same shit over and over again, because there's a lot to it and I can't always say the whole thing, so yeah. So just before I start, I'd just like to say, if you're an avid meat eater and you're really against vegetarianism and all that kind of stuff, don't watch this, just click off this now. There's no point in being unnecessarily hateful. If you don't agree with it, then, you know, don't watch it. I'm just going to start off with benefits and stuff and motives behind being vegetarian. So the first one is why a lot of people actually go vegetarian is health benefits. If you're vegetarian and, you know, you eat properly, and it's meant to make you live longer, it's actually better for you. Before I turned vegetarian, I had acne really bad, and after I turned vegetarian, my skin got so much better, it's ridiculous. It lowers chance of diseases like heart disease and all this kind of stuff. But obviously the health benefits only come if you do eat properly, but if you're a meat eater and you don't eat properly, you'll just be as unhealthy as a vegetarian that doesn't eat properly. It's just, you know, people have to eat properly to be healthy, and obviously if you go vegetarian and you eat like shit, you're still going to be unhealthy, but yeah. And the second one, obviously, also biggest one, is the cruelty factor. As much as people try and defend it, there is no humane way of killing another living animal. Like, no matter how much you can deny it, there is no way you can kill another animal prematurely, take its life away from it before it's meant to. There is no humane way of doing it. There's nothing nice about killing something. Cruelty they go through in the meat industry and even the dairy industry, which is why I want to go vegan but I can't because of health problems, it's just, the stuff they do to them is just absolutely ridiculous. And if you want anything to back this up, I'd suggest watching some documentaries or something about it. I watched this one the other day called Vegucated, which was very eye-opening even for someone who was vegetarian. So if you want education on what they actually do in the meat industry and what, you know, you're contributing to basically, then go watch those. It's, you know, it's very depressing, to be honest. I cried when I watched that one I watched the other day, but it's very eye-opening. The third one is how destructive the meat industry is for the planet. The meat industry is one of the main contributors to global warming and basically the destruction of the planet and stuff. And because meat is in so high demand, they artificially inseminate cows and other animals and stuff just so they can be made into food. There's so many more of these animals on the planet that there should be, because they're being forced to give birth at such a higher rate than they would do naturally, and because they produce so much methane and stuff, it's also very, very bad for the environment, because obviously methane is a massive contributor to global warming. So not only is it a horrible thing to do to animals, it's bad for you and it's bad for the planet. So honestly, I don't really see the downside. And even the likes of Albert Einstein has said the meat industry is basically not sustainable, and being vegetarian is the way to be sustainable for yourself and the planet and stuff like that. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he turned vegetarian in the late years of his life, and he basically said it was the only way to be sustainable. So I'm gonna get on to when you actually turn vegetarian, like what to do and stuff now. So when I went vegetarian, I kind of started transitioning for about 3 weeks or so. I started cutting down meat and stuff, so I'd have it like twice a week, and then the week after have it like once a week, and then the week after like not at all. And then like you have to, the biggest thing is you have to do your research, because being vegetarian isn't just not eating meat, because so many other products have meat product in. So you do have to check everything, because some things you'd be very surprised. Obviously the obvious ones are stuff like marshmallows and ice cream and stuff. I know All Wool's ice cream is a vegetarian, like none of it at all. So if you want ice cream and you go vegetarian, don't get Wool's at all. Any of the off-cut ones, like I think it's like Cut Door and stuff like that, they have like off-cut ones, they're not vegetarian either. Anything by Wool's isn't. Also, alcohol is a big problem. Like a lot of people wouldn't even contemplate in their mind you know, I'm vegetarian, but I can drink this because you don't consider drink to be un-vegetarian. I don't drink anyway, so it's not a problem for me. I've been completely sober from alcohol for about 7 months now, so I don't need to do that, so that's not a problem with me. But if you do drink, then check, because a lot of things don't say vegetarian on them, so you do have to email the companies to check if you want to have it. But do check the labels of everything to see if it's vegetarian, because half the time you don't know what is and isn't, because they just put so much unnecessary shit into things. Like, the main things to look out for is like colorings and glazing agents and stuff like that. They're the main problems with things that you might think would be vegetarian, but you do have to check. And if you're worrying about, you know, missing the taste of meat, they do meat substitutes for literally everything, even bacon nowadays, but the bacon they've not quite got there on yet. It just kind of tastes like really shitty ham. They do vegetarian options for basically everything now, so that's not a problem. Also, when you first go vegetarian, a thing I would warn you about is for the first kind of month you will be hungry all the time, but that's just your body adjusting. It's perfectly normal. I think the main reason why people don't go vegetarian is, I was a meat eater for 17 years, so I know this personally, is when you have meat and you see it there as a food, you don't always connect it to being an animal. And I think that's a massive problem, is if you've got a burger there, you see that as a burger, you don't see that as that used to be a living, breathing animal. Like, in your mind, you obviously know that it is, but you kind of think of them as separate things. And you've got to remember, when you're eating it, that was a living, breathing animal that had feelings. It was just roaming around freely without a care in the world, just like you and I, and its life got ended prematurely so you could eat it. Also, another thing is, it's just considered so normal to be a meat eater, because since humanity existed, people have eaten meat, and there is quite a lot of arguable evidence that, you know, people are meant to eat meat, but I'm not going to go into that on this because it causes a lot of controversy. You can think what you want about it, but it is arguable. But because it's considered so normal, people don't see it as anything wrong with it, obviously. It's not normal the amount people consume, and that's why the problems that we have surrounding it exist, because there's just such high demand for it. But all in all, it's really not as hard as you think. Like, I don't miss the taste of meat whatsoever. The smell of meat makes me feel absolutely sick now. I can't smell it without feeling sick. You won't miss it. It's so much easier than you expect it to be. You'd expect it to be really hard, but it's just not. But not everything's obvious with it, so you do have to check everything. It does seem like it'd be kind of annoyance, but you get used to it after a while, and it is worth it. But yeah, it seems like it'd be really hard, but it really, really isn't. Everybody I know who's turned vegetarian has said, you know, it's not as hard as you think it would be. It's so easy. And both me and my fiance are both vegetarian now, and we've both thought the exact same thing, so don't worry about it. If you're planning on going it, just go for it. I think I've mentioned just about everything. I'm really sorry if I've left stuff out of my mind. It's just all over the place when I film. I can never keep a straight line of thought. But anyway, I hope this helped you guys out. If I think of anything else, I'll put it in the description below. But anyway, I hope this helped you guys. I love you guys lots. Bye!